Night. How you guys doing? Just coming on in to check in with you guys. Just checking in. I know it's a late Friday night. I don't normally go live at this time, but I wanted to check in. I went live at first just for my members to see if anybody had any questions or anything, but didn't look like they did. So I decided to go live for the main main audience, I should say. Hey, Dirk. Hey, Sandra. Brenda, congratulations, Brenda. Congratulations. If I was on my computer, I would do the clapping um sound effects. Um Brandy says, "Hi, how are you?" I'm doing good, Brandy. Just got home. Just got home and decided to go live. I saw a scary movie. Y'all planning on seeing a scary movie? I just saw that with my daughter. Um, oh, Frazzy said I didn't pass again. How many times have you taken it? Which test did you take, Razzie? And how many times have you taken it already? Let me sit in front of my background, guys. Hold on. How many times did you take it, Razzie? Or is it Razy? But I will say, just make sure you look at your score report, Razy, so you can see, what areas you fell short in. Your score report is going to show you, the areas that you scored the lowest in. And all you need to do is to, study those areas, double down on studying those areas. So it'll say, below the passing standard, and it'll show you the areas you scored high in. Just make sure you look at those. Oh, let me make sure this chat is a subscribers only chat. All right, let's see who else we got here. Um, oh, Stephanie, I saw you had something. It's no longer there, whatever you were asking before, Stephanie. Sorry, missed it. Dirk says currently an extern. Okay, Dirk, good luck with that. I hope they're hiring. Brenda says I got a 412. Yes. Yes. Um, hey Michael. Proactinum says hello. I just passed my with a 443. Awesome. Thank you so much. By the way, I live in Georgia too. Where? What part of Georgia? Proactinum. Let me know where y'all watching from. What part of Georgia? Yes, I just moved down to Georgia. It'll be 4 months on the 13th that I've been down here. Yes, I do division of the nervous systems. CMA. Okay, got you. So just once. Okay, so just look at your RAISY, just look at your score report and see what areas you fell short in, and just make sure you study those areas. Okay. So I don't know what you're using. I don't know if you have my MA refresher course or if you're using the study material for the CMA. Whatever the case, just make sure you go back to those areas on your score report that show you scored the lowest in. Um, and restudy those areas, and then don't take it again until you have really got a grasp for those areas. Okay. Also make sure you download the test plan for that test. So you could just go to Google and look up free test plan for the CMA, AAMA, and then use it as a guide. So check off everything you already know and highlight it. And then all of the information you don't know, make sure you go back to your study material to find out that information. So any tips? I think I didn't understand what your comment was before, Channing. You said division of the nervous system. I'm thinking you are talking about you're learning the nervous system. I would say make sure you look at some videos. So And this is for anybody when you're learning the body systems. There are animated videos on YouTube. When I tell you guys, they help my students so much with learning the material because it is animated. It's like they're teaching a kid. When you're watching something, I always say, look at cartoon type of, especially if you're having trouble with something, look at cartoon type videos, animated type videos, because they break it down so simple to where even a child can understand, and it helps you to understand because of how simple they are breaking the material down. So body systems, whether it's the nervous system, reproductive, any system, look up some animated or cartoon type. Look up like nervous system for kids. Like if you look up kid videos, then that is going to be as simple as it's going to get. Brandy says, I need your help. I'm in the process of getting ready to take my test and I'm scared I'm not a good test taker. So um if you go to playlists, I have some study tip videos there. And it says the name of the playlist is study tips. And I have a specific video for people who are not good test takers, like people who have testing anxiety. I do have some tips for you there, but you just really, again, the test plan, make sure you go back to the test plan to make sure you are, just using it as a guide to make sure you're going over everything you're going to need to know for the test. So just look up free test plan for whatever test you're going to be taking, and then use that as a guide to check everything off. And of course, when you go take the test, flag or bookmark any difficult questions that you need to spend time on, and then go through all your easy questions and come back to the harder ones at the end. That's going to be a big one when you are, on the day of your test and you're taking your test. Anything you got to spend time on and think about, flag it or bookmark it, and then go back and answer those at the end. But the practice test was the same as well. So you were seeing some of the same questions is what you're saying. Yeah, so you just got to see what areas you fell short in Raisy, and restudy those areas. Yeah, I'm sorry you didn't pass, but what I will tell you this, it happens a lot. A lot of people have to take it a couple times before they pass. That's just the reality for some people. Yeah, a lot of people pass on the first time, and that's always the goal, but there are some people that do have to take it again, see where they fell short, and then well, I mean, they take it the first time and don't pass, and then they have to see where they fell short and then try it again. Because there's multiple reasons why that could happen. Sometimes some people don't pass the first time because, sometimes it could be a lack of studying on a person, or maybe they did study. It could have been a lack of preparation from the school, or it could have been, the person was studying one topic more than they were studying the others. Maybe they were neglecting a certain topic, and then that happened to be the area where they fell short. It's so many reasons. Sometimes you run out of time, you don't get the fin. It's so many reasons why people don't pass the first time. There's really no way for me to pinpoint it for any of you guys. Just throwing out some reasons why that can happen sometimes, but whatever the reason, it happens, and the goal is to pass the next time. But you got to go over your detailed score report so you can see where you fell short. Maybe I just doing my study Monday, Wednesday, Friday for 3 hours. Okay, I'm glad you got a system. Son, she said Sandra said she studied Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for 3 hours a day. I love it. You got to August. I love it. I love it. And I recommend everybody that's in school, that's getting ready, to take certification, or just in school in general while you're in there, to have a study schedule. So I love that you're doing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for 3 hours. Everybody should have a study schedule. Brandy says, my instructor told me to follow you. Oh, I'm glad. Tell her I said hello, Brandy. Brenda says, I got a 412 passed on May 27th. Congratulations. Tanisha says, good night, Miss K. Thank you so much for your video. I passed my CCMA exam last month. And congratulations, Tanisha. She said I failed the two practice tests. I got a 56 and 58. Okay, so Brandy, do not take another practice test until you look at your focus review. Your focus review, or your focus review for the practice test, just like on the actual test, the detailed score report, your focus review shows you where you fell short. So when you look at your focus review, And it's basically like a report of your score to show you where you fell short. Study those areas again because you want to see your score going up. So you went from a 56 and a 58. The next time you take it, you want to get a 70. Then you want to get an 80, right? You want your score to go up each time, but it's not going to go up if you're not studying in between. You got to look at your focus review. You got to look at your score, your score report to see where you are falling short. Let me see. Let me go back up. This questions just jumped. Hold on, guys. It's a lot of y'all on here. Wait a minute, y'all. Make sure you like the video if you haven't already. It's 20 of y'all watching and 7 likes. Like the video. Thank you. Let me see. Razy says I stay in Vegas. I really want to pass so I can work. You can. Just take some of the advice that I gave you. Hey, Vanessa. Shout out to my members that's on the group, Vanessa, and all of my other members that is on the live, I should say, not the group. Started my position, a full-time medical assistant for guys and girls. Congratulations, Brenda. The grade range for the CMA, so you have to get at least a 405. So Derek asked, what is the passing score for the CMA? It is a 405, and I think it goes up to 800, I believe. Brandy from Pennsylvania. Shout out to Pennsylvania. Hey, Sify. Oh, Brandy and Brenda both work for Geisinger. Am I saying it right? I've never heard of it. Is it Geisinger or Geisinger? Is Geisinger, is that like is that a local company or is that like what is that? Is that a hospital center? Like let me know what that is. I've never heard of them, but I see that a couple of you guys work for them. Protactinum says Johns Creek, Alpharetta border. Oh, okay. So you are kind of close because I'm like an hour from Atlanta. So it's in front of your place. It's Alpharetta city limit. Okay, gotcha. Welcome. Make sure are you in my group on Facebook, Protactinum? Make sure you join because and also you can just make sure you follow me on YouTube because I do want to eventually do like some type of Georgia meetup. So let me know, make sure you are following so that way you'll know when I post that type of stuff. Protecting and anybody else that's in Georgia. That's Brandy says that's what she said. She don't want me to take the other test. Got you. Let me go back. I can't remember what you. Oh, okay. Okay. So basically, you're saying that your instructor also told you to study before you take another test. Exactly. Because that's what we do with my students too. Like, you got to study in between. You do not take another test. When you guys are doing your practice test, if you don't study in between, if you don't look at your score report, your focus review, and you just go take another one, you want to get the same score again. Brenda says family practice. How much is your study guide? It's $27. It's www.marefreshercourse.com. If somebody's able to put that in the chat, that would be great. But it's a simple site. It's www.marefreshercourse.com. Make sure you get the clinical one. Some people they end up buying the wrong one or they buy both. Do not buy both. You never need both. You either need the administrative one if you're taking only administrative exams, like the CMAA, and then you get the clinical one for all the other certifications CMA, RMA, CCMA, because it has both clinical and administrative. Do not get both. I'm in Washington State next week. Saifi says I'm taking my CCMA. Good luck with that. Michael passed with a 434. Every topic above the passing standard. I know that's right. Michael said every topic was above the passing standard. You better flex. Thank you for your study guide and videos. You are a blessing. You are so welcome, Michael. And thank you for sharing that. So Michael is one of the ones who has my online study guide, my MA refresher course, and use that to help pass the test. And Michael, I believe you said you were using a bunch of different things, Smarter MA, my videos, and a whole lot of other things. But I appreciate that email you sent me to let me know that the videos and the study guide was helpful. RMA. Yes. So somebody wants to know if the RMA test, if my videos help. So this is for anybody that's wondering. Yes. So my videos, um, and I say this all the time, guys, but all of the certifications, they act the same, they ask the same type of videos. So if you notice, when I'm going through my study sessions with you guys, we are focusing on the content, and they all have the same type of content. So we're not focusing on the questions, we focus on the content. So does the RMA, CCMA, the CMA, AMA, NCCT, all of them, do they all want to know EKG placement? Yes. Do they all want to know order draw? Do they all need you to know your terminology? Do they all need you to know doses calculations, right? These are all the things. Do they all need you to know what a modifier does to a CPT code and a diagnosis code? Yes. Reason why I say that is because they all ask the same type of information. So if you ever, if you guys are all ever wondering, like, is this going to help? Yes, they all ask the same type of questions. So yeah, my videos help with that test as well. All of them. Honestly, there's no certification when it comes to MA certification that you can take that my videos wouldn't touch on. And I did a video one time where we looked at the test plan for all of the tests just so I can show you guys. They all ask the same kind of material, same type of questions. All of my study material is on my channel. That's my free study material. If you look on my playlist, you'll see certification study videos. Or if you want my MA refresher course, it's www.marefreshercourse.com. And Razy, you took the CMA, so you would need the clinical one. Don't get the administrative. You don't need both. You would get the clinical one. Thank you, Brandy. Being her says, "Hey, Miss K, I used your material and others and took my test back in May and I failed by 1 point. Oh, I'm going to retake it again, regardless of me failing your material really helped." You know what? The fact that you were only 1 point off, guess what that means, being her? That means that you know the information. When you guys get so close like that, I want you guys to, like, I know it sucks because it was like I was right there. I get it. I know, but that's actually really good because now, like I mentioned to the other people that mentioned not passing the first time, just look at your score report so you can see what area it was where you got that, where you missed that 1 point, because you know the information, but it just happens to be one area. It seems like it's just one area where you just got to work on. You know what I mean? Like, you just got to restudy again. That's all. You're welcome, Brandy. Five Morant, your question disappeared. Hey, good evening, Princess. Is that Princess? Um, I can't tell what the second part of that says, 3159, but good evening. Melina says, OMG, Miss K, you are live. Yes, I just got in the house. I just went to see Scary Movie and I said, let me go live for a few minutes while I'm dressed. Anytime I get dressed, I try to get on here for a few minutes because being as though I work from home, most of the time I'm not dressed. I don't have on a wig. So I'm like, let me get. That's why a lot of times when I do my MA lives, I'm never on camera because most of the time I don't have on clothes. So when I do have on clothes, I try to go live for a few minutes on camera so I can talk to you guys like this. Tips. I have so many tips on the channel, but just a quick tip. Just make sure you're studying the material and not just the questions. Okay, when you're going through your practice test, I hope you got the practice test for your test. Also, another tip is getting my MA refresher course. Also, make sure you have the test plan for the RMA since that's what you're taking. All you do, you just go to Google and look up RMA test plan and use it as a guide. Check off everything you already know. Whatever you don't know, go back to your study material. Are you going live to go over to CMA? Yeah, I'm gonna do more in the future. I don't know when yet, but I will. My instructor spoke very highly of you. Oh, Brandy, that's nice to know. Let your instructor know I said hello. Melina said, I just watched her videos of Smart and Made for a week or two, and I didn't study at all outside of that because I hadn't looked over my course material. Wow, you passed and hadn't seen your material in a year. That's awesome, Melina. And I'm glad you mentioned that because some people ask me, is my study material enough? I normally don't, I mean, they ask me, is my study videos enough, I should say. I usually don't recommend my videos be the only thing, but for some people, that's all they have. If that's all you can do, because I've had people say, I'm not able to afford the study material right now. I get that. In that case, absolutely. My videos, Smarter MA has a free version that you can kind of get some of the material. You not a lot, but you can kind of do, I think, one module for free. So if you're somebody that cannot afford the study material and you want to know, is there videos enough? It is possible because I have had a lot of people who have passed just from my videos. So thank you for sharing that, Melina. Melina says she's an angel. Thank you so much, Melina. Is it Malinka? Malinka. Thank you so much. Vanessa says, I remember you said do what you know. Yes, flag what you don't, and it saves so much time. Then go back. And that's what I did. I had plenty of time left doing that. Then you found, thank you for sharing that, Vanessa. Vanessa was reiterating what I said about flagging the the hard stuff. Y'all, when you guys go take the test, and even you guys that did not pass the first time, you got to go take it again. Please remember flag the reason why I say flag or bookmark because depending on the test, it may say flag or it may say bookmark. Whatever the case, click on it and come back to it later. Flag it, bookmark it, come back to it later because what happens is, and what I've seen happen, students will run out of time because they're spending so much time in the beginning, they run out of time and fail. But guess what? I've also seen students run out of time and pass because they had gone through all of their easy stuff. So they were able to get enough right and they ran out of time, but because they had answered so many right already, they were able to still pass. So it's always going to be better for you to flag and bookmark, and then you spend your time at the end of the test. Never spend the beginning of the test trying to figure it out. I always say, if you ever wonder how long you should spend on this question, I always say, if you find yourself having to spend, I kind of want to name a certain amount of time, but let's just say you're going through the question and it's something you got to really think about. You're going through your process of elimination and you got to keep doing it and keep doing it. That's how you know what, let me come back to this. But anything you can kind of look at and you're like, okay, oh, I know this. You want to kind of focus on those questions. And then the hard stuff you come back to. Brandy said that's what my instructor said too. You're welcome, Brandy. Being her says I took almost the entire 3 hours. I had 20 minutes left on the clock after going over and over my answers. And you got just that one point, girl, you know that stuff. You know it. You know it. So you are going to pass the next time. Just make sure you look at that score report so you can see exactly where you fell short. Brenda says, in my last exam, I got a 74. So I was freaking terrified I was going to fail, but I got a 412. Yes. And I will say, if your last practice test was that final, if you took the CCMA, yeah, that last practice test on the CCMA is the hardest ever. All of my students say the same thing. A lot of times, students that you could get great scores on all of your practice tests, but that last one, a lot of times people don't do well on for some reason. Five Morant, all of your questions keep getting retracted. Being her says I thought the passing score was 390. Yeah, so on the CCMA, the passing score is 390. On the CMA, AAMA is 405. And on the RMA, it is a 78 or 80. I think it's an 80. That's right. The first one. Oh, Geisinger. Okay, gotcha. Geisinger. Been with them 10 years. It's a hospital. 10 year. Okay, gotcha. A hospital franchise. Thank you, Brenda and Brandy. Is it specific to is it just in a certain area? Brandy and Brenda, let me know where y'all are. I can't remember where y'all are located. Malinka says, I just can't get anyone to hire me with no experience. Any advice? Yep, I say the same thing. Look up your recruiting agencies in your area. You recruiting agencies, MA recruiting agencies, MA, healthcare recruiting agencies, absolutely. Also going around to your to your offices in the area, private offices, your physician office buildings, your professional buildings that have multiple offices in them. You hit every floor, get your copies of your resume, go around. Hey, my name is Malinka. I was wondering if you guys were hiring for medical assistant. Oh, you are perfect. Can I leave my resume here? Oh, you don't take resumes? Okay, I'll just apply online. Oh, you do take resume? Perfect. Can I leave my resume with you here? Is a hiring manager available? And yeah, do that every office in that building. Oh, Brandy says they have clinics as well. Brenda says, yes, I'm there, fam. Oh, Brenda and Brandy is talking back and forth, I believe, after getting certified. They work for the same company. I'm following you on Instagram and we'll keep an eye on Facebook too. Yeah, Instagram, I'm not on as much. So definitely on Facebook, join the group if you haven't already, the Medical Assistant Lounge on Facebook. And I will let you know. Also, I'll announce it here as well when I do the Georgia meetup. I definitely want to do it this summer, protecting them while it's still warm. Rated at what's the website again? Is marefreshercourse.com. So www. I'm not able to type on live while I'm live on my phone. When I'm live on my computer, I can, but the phone, I don't have an option to type. I don't think. Let me see. What is this? Yeah, no, I can't type anything here, but it's www.marefreshercourse.com. No space. So MAREFRESHER course COURSE.com. A few people had asked for the website again. That's why I'm saying it again, guys. Oh, somebody else asked www.marefreshercourse.com. Which study guide should I so the clinical one. So if you get the study guide, you want the clinical one because the clinical course has both clinical and administrative, which you need for the CCMA. As far as the videos you can watch, when you go to playlist on my channel, it'll say medical assistant certification. It'll say CCMA, RMA. It'll say that you'll see it. Just go to my channel, hit view channel, and then hit playlist. You're welcome, Brandy. Good night to you too. Hopefully you got it that time, Brazy. She said I'm trying to write it down. WW or he. I'm sorry, Brazy. I don't know if that's I can't see your picture. www.marefreshercourse.com. I was asked how to dispose control substances on my NHA. I learned that after that it was requiring two witnesses. Oh, okay. How hard would you say the RMA is? I'm studying every day since last week. I can't really say. It's hard to say how hard any of the exams are for real because it just kind of depends. Now, if somebody that has not been studying is going to be extremely hard, or if you haven't been exposed to the information, like if you were in a program where you guys weren't really looking at the material, I honestly can't even say how hard it is. I can't, or how hard or how easy. It's really just about what you have been what you have been exposed to from your school, yourself. I would say this five, Morant. This is how you want to know how hard it is or how easy it is for you. Go to Google, look up RMA test plan, okay? This is for Five Morant and everybody else. Go to Google, RMA test plan, Five Morant. Everything that you already know, when you look at that test plan, highlight it and check it off. Based on how much stuff you have highlighted, that's how you're going to know how much information you know. Okay. If you realize basically all of it is highlighted and checked off, guess what that means? That means you know a lot of the information that's going to be on the test. But if you go through it and you like, oh wow, I barely have anything highlighted, then it's going to be hard for you because that means you need to study some more. And what do you need to study? You need to study the information that's on the test plan. Okay. Kaplan is great, guys, but you do also want to look up, like your online resources so you can take your practice test, you know what I'm saying, and get your scores. The book isn't going to do that as much. It's a great resource, don't get me wrong, but if you really want to test yourself and see how you're doing, you want to have your online resources. Okay. In my MA refresher course, I do have some practice questions. I have over 400 practice questions in my clinical version of my refresher course. So that's an option as well. So anybody that's using a physical book, that's great for studying, but then just make sure you have some type of online resource so that way you can test yourself. Because with the book, you can't really, I mean, I guess they have like little quizzes and stuff in there, but it's not like you can do it over and all of that. Alyssa says, I glad I caught you. I'm glad you did too, Alyssa. You've been so helpful with my medical. Oh, Alyssa, so glad to hear that. I'm glad you made it too. I just decided to go live for a few minutes after I just got home. You're welcome. I get it. I get it. Trust me, I get it, Five Brand. I get it more than you realize. I use AMC practice test. Oh, okay, help me see. Okay, so that's good. So now you got the practice test. So now just make sure you implement what I mentioned about the test plan. That's all. And then whatever you highlight and check off, it may surprise you. You may actually know more than you thought you knew. You may find around, you may actually check off half of the stuff or more than half, and you probably like, wow, I know a lot. But you won't know until you do that. Glad. Oh, I'm still live, Brenda. Brenda done phone done died and came back. Fresh in the CNA class. Is it okay if I need to ask any questions? So CNA, I don't cover CNA because CNA, that's another scope of practice, assisting a nurse and things like that. So it's different. What we do it like our vital signs. So if you have any questions about that, I probably can help. But as far as like CNA, the scope of CNA, I've never been a CNA, so I wouldn't be able to help with that. Um, but like I know CNAs do vital signs as well, blood pressure, heart respiration and stuff. So yeah, that I can. But I've never cleaned a wound. I mean, medical assistants can clean wounds too, but I mean like as far as how CNAs do. CNAs, you guys do a lot of patient care. You do wound care, inpatient wound care. Medical assistants, not so much. We may work in the office where we have to, clean a wound maybe. Um, but a lot of what you guys do, we don't do. Brenda says I was a CNA before CMA. There you go. Look, you got a resource right there, Benita. Look, Brenda Barry right there. She said I was a CNA. Look at y'all connecting in the chat. You got a resource right there. Benita says, okay, thanks. It was definitely we're definitely on that also. Make sure you look at my blood pressure video, Benita. If you go to view channel and then click on videos, click on popular, it's my most watched channel, my most watched video on the channel. So view channel, click on videos, click on popular, you want to see the blood pressure video. So just make sure you do that. Benita says, I'll add you, Mrs. Brenda. Brenda says, I passed my exam first try on the CNA as well. Awesome. So look at that. You got a whole resource right there. Brenda says you do have to do 5 skills test as well for your final certification to be licensed. And while we're talking about that, CNA and medical assistant, sometimes, people, they kind of use the two interchangeably, but it is important to know the difference. Brenda just mentioned needing to get a license. So CNAs, they are licensed. Medical assistants are not licensed. Now you can get, of course, certified as a medical assistant, but when you have that certification, you can, work pretty much anywhere in the country. If you move with licensure, like nurses, CNAs, any other licensed professional, you do have to be licensed in that specific state. So that's another thing. Nursing assistants, they assist a nurse. A lot of times they work in nursing homes, hospitals, right? Completely different scope. Medical assistants are working in, doctor's offices, but they can work in hospitals, but in a different way. So not the same as what a CNA would do. Benita says, I'll check those out. Thanks so much. You're welcome. Nita says, yes, ma'am, I'll take mine in 4 more weeks, Miss Brenda. Oh, I love it. I love that y'all are connecting. Okay, guys, I'm gonna get ready to get off here. I did not plan on being live for 30 minutes. I just wanted to hop on here just to see if you guys had questions, and I see you did. So I'm glad that I did come on here. I hope that this video was helpful to anybody who maybe had a question about anything. Do me a favor, guys, and if you haven't already, if this was helpful, make sure you hit the like button, not within the chat, not the just the reaction. I mean like the actual like button on the video. And if you see the option to hype it, click that as well. Okay. I may go live again tomorrow, maybe Monday. We'll see. But you guys have a good night. Thank y'all for hanging with me on a Saturday night. Good night to you guys. You're welcome, Brenda. You're welcome. Make sure your notifications are on So when I do go live, you are notified. So you guys know when you subscribe and then there's a bell. When you hit that bell, there's an option to turn notifications off. There's notifications for personalized. You want to hit all so that way anytime I go live, you'll be notified. And make sure your notification on your app, your YouTube app is on as well. I love you guys too, Malinka. Thank you, Caleb. Oh, goodbye from London. Shout out to London. What time is it? Tell me what time it is in London, real quick, Serena, before I end this. Let me know what time it is over there. I'm just curious. Serena. Oh, Benita says I just turned mine on. Good. Yeah, just make sure it's on. The notifications are on. So that way when and one thing again, just make sure it's on the app as well because I follow if there's a creator I follow on YouTube and I kept trying to figure out why do I always miss when he live? I got my notifications on. I did not have it on both my app and for him. I didn't hit the bell and hit all. So, oh, 352 got you. Okay, well, welcome. I'm glad you caught me live. Mine is on. That's how I knew you were live. Awesome. All right, y'all. Good night. 3:53 now. All right, y'all. Good night.